Hello there, welcome back. I'm so excited for today's topic, which is exclusivity in brand collaboration agreements. I know this is a hot topic and really an area that creators need education around because you may agree to an exclusivity period that you shouldn't. And let me just start off by saying you should never ever agree to a lifetime of exclusivity or in perpetuity exclusivity. I know in perpetuity can be used for a number of different things, but especially when it comes to exclusivity, huge no-no. Okay, so exclusivity, what exactly is it? When you are negotiating a brand deal, many times the brand is going to want a certain period of exclusivity, and this means the brand doesn't want you working with competitors, related brands. And it's a given. This is very understandable because if you are promoting a certain brand, if you're an influencer or a UGC creator that's posting the content on your own channels, or even if the brand is posting it on their own channels, they don't want your face also being shown for a competitor. Makes complete sense. Now, where this gets tricky is some brands want exclusivity for a much longer period than they should. If you are a creator and you're doing one video for a brand, let me just start by saying you should not be giving them 6 months of exclusivity. Now, if they want this, let me get to why or how you should be charging for it. So, no matter how long the campaign is, no matter how much content you're creating, what I tell clients to do when they're negotiating these deals is always give your base rate. And this base rate is going to include your basic terms. So maybe they want one video. So a lot of times brands will come to me and they're like, hey, how much for one video? And in that rate that I give for one video, that includes 1 month of exclusivity. If the brand wants to use it, I do allow them to use it for 1 month. Basically, everything is for 1 month. And that's for me. It could be completely different for you. Now, if a brand wants exclusivity for longer than 1 month, or they want to use it longer for 1 month, and we're not going to talk about usage rights. This is just about exclusivity. If they want exclusivity for longer than that 1 month, let's say they want it for 3 months, then it's my rate times 3. I'm going to say that again. I don't care if it's only one video. I don't care even if the brand doesn't want to use it. They just don't want me to work with another brand in the same industry for 3 months. It is my initial rate times 3. And no matter what industry you're in, how big of a creator you are, if a brand doesn't want you to work with another competitor or another brand in the same industry, you need to charge accordingly. Because you're screwing yourself if you don't. Because you literally cannot make money from a similar brand or a competitor in that same industry for that amount of time. So you have to make sure you're being charged accordingly. Anytime a brand wants longer exclusivity than your normal rate, you need to charge that times however long they want. So remember this, the next time a brand is asking for exclusivity for 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, always have your base rate in your base terms. And if you don't know what those are, just take some time, write it down. Okay, if a brand is asking you for one video, and you give them a rate, what's included in that? Obviously the video, maybe a certain amount of edits. You can include a certain amount of exclusivity, a certain amount of time that the brand can actually use the video on their own channels. Just think about what you want included in your base rate. Because, and yes, you can negotiate this initially in the email, but I always tend to wait because what happens is you start negotiating on the nitty gritty and it's like, okay, let's just get a tentative agreement and then we'll discuss the details later. So, because a couple times I've had brands come to me and I'm like, okay, well, here's my rate. This is what it includes. And I'm like, well, we want this amount of exclusivity and we want to be able to use it for this amount of time. And it ends up working out better if you have the base agreement. And then if they want to send you the contract, which includes the 12 months of exclusivity, then you come back and say, hey, here's my changes to the agreement. And if they want to ask about it, say, well, this is my base rate. My base rate includes these things. And it includes includes 1 month of exclusivity. And of course, if they want to, what can happen is you can always tell the brand, look, this is initially what it is, and you can always pay for more. So if they want 1 month of it, they're fine with just 1 month of exclusivity, and they want to continue using it, and they want you to continue no longer working with any competitors, they can always come back and ask for more. And that's typically what happens. They'll be like, okay, fine, 1 month of exclusivity. They have the right to come back and pay you for more exclusivity. So stop not charging your worth. Make 2023 the year that you stand firm in what you are worth as a creator. I am so tired of, and not tired like, oh, I wish you would just charge your worth. Like, it's hurtful to not just you, the creator, like you're not making as much money as you should be making. It's also hurting the creator industry as a whole, because the brand knows, like, okay, if this person doesn't accept it, I can just go to the next creator. Most likely they'll accept it, or I'll find somebody. But until we as a collective begin charging our worth, it's going to be harder and harder to get brands to recognize our worth. So let's agree as a collective that we are going to no longer give in perpetuity exclusivity or in perpetuity usage rights. Drop me a comment. Let me know if you have questions about any of these terms, any tips on negotiating that you want to hear about, any questions about brand collaborations in general. Drop me a comment. I am happy to discuss this topic, because in 2023, the creator economy as a whole is going to be rising up. Okay, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all the things, and I hope you all have a happy new year.